Hey guys, Rami here with your second stimulus check update and second stimulus package update for Friday, November 20th. Hope you all have a nice day and a great weekend. We have so much to cover in this video about stimulus, a new bill, updates from Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer. They're finally talking, which is really great news, and some very good news too about vaccines that I want to hear your thoughts about. So please hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All right, let's start quickly with some vaccine news. Pfizer is expected to file for their emergency use authorization today, and Moderna should do the same very soon. The White House already rolled out their plan on how they're going to distribute these vaccines. Phase 1 will be for healthcare workers, the elderly, and people with health conditions. Phase 2 is going to be prisoners, people in homeless shelters, teachers, and essential workers. Phase 3 is children, and Phase 4 is everyone else. So my question to you is actually two questions. Would you take the vaccine when it comes out? It's crazy that this vaccine will be very political also, and depends on your party, just like wearing a mask, right? I mean, this is obviously a generalization, but seems that many Republicans don't care much for wearing a mask, but Democrats wear them. And when it comes to the vaccine, many Republicans don't want to take the vaccine because they don't think it's needed and they'll be fine without it. And on the other hand, many Democrats wouldn't want to take the vaccine because it's coming during the Trump administration. Just crazy how everything is political right now. So would you take the vaccine or no? The other question is, how do you feel about this rollout plan that the government has for the vaccine? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious to read them. Now let's talk stimulus. We have some good news. This is not to get your hopes up, but it is progress. Mitch McConnell agreed to negotiate with the Democrats on the next stimulus package, according to Chuck Schumer. Senator Schumer said that yesterday they've agreed to sit down, and the staffs are going to sit down today or tomorrow to try to begin to see if we can get a real good relief bill. So there's been a little bit of a breakthrough in that McConnell's folks are finally sitting down and talking to us. Now, this is a breakthrough, and I want to talk about the real good relief bill they need to get done. Because listen, the skinny bill from the Republicans is not going anywhere. And there's no chance that Republicans will pick up the HEROES Act. So they need a new reasonable bill. The only one I can think of here is the Problem Solvers Caucus bill. This bill really had everything in it, and it reasonably satisfies many of the things that the Democrats want and many of the things that the Republicans want. So as a refresher, this bill has a second stimulus check and a potential for a third one already built into this bill, depending on the situation of the pandemic. It also has an unemployment boost for $450 per week for 8 weeks. Then it also has a potential for extension based on the situation. There's also a second round of PPP money and more EIDL money for small businesses. There's $500 billion for state and local funding, which is way more than what Democrats even want at this point. And it has reducers in there for about $130 billion. So this can be adjusted to satisfy the Republicans who are willing to go as high as $300 billion for state and local funding. This bill also has $25 billion for rental and mortgage assistance, which I think now needs to be boosted up a little bit. I think analysts are saying by the end of the year, we'll be over $30 billion behind on rent as a nation. There's also $130 billion for school. It has $15 billion for the Postal Service and $100 billion for testing, tracing, which is very much needed. And it also has some form of food aid, which is something that Democrats have always wanted. It even has liability protections and OSHA guidelines, which satisfies the needs of Republicans and Democrats when it comes to protections. I've always loved this bill, and I know many of you said in the comments that you think it is a good deal. So I really hope they start looking at this again as a viable option. The Problem Solvers Caucus even released a statement a couple of days ago urging Congress to come together and do a deal. They said election day has come and gone, and the American people, our families, small businesses, and local communities are still suffering. It has been 65 days since the Problem Solvers Caucus introduced our framework for a bipartisan relief package. Prior to the election, all parties at the negotiating table expressed readiness to get a bipartisan deal done, and yet the American people are still waiting to receive the relief they deserve. We cannot delay any longer. After meeting with senators from both parties and administration officials earlier this week, it is clear that there is an opportunity to get bipartisan, urgently needed assistance to American families and small businesses. We need negotiators from both sides to come to the table, willing to compromise and fully engage to get a deal across the finish line. So they definitely sound very optimistic here, but they also said they talked to senators and officials. Maybe not the leaders, but at least there's some movement. We need pressure from everywhere we can get on these leaders to get a deal done as soon as possible. In other important news, both sides are also talking about government funding because, as you may or may not know, last time the government was about to shut down, I think it was sometime in September, Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin agreed on a CR to keep the government funded until December 11th. They're actually trying to get a good bill now to keep it funded and not just a CR this time. And based on some reports, these talks seem to actually be going smooth and shouldn't have a problem. But obviously, anything with these politicians can change at any time. So let's hope they get at least this one done. As far as the virus goes, the cases are skyrocketing. And here in New York, Mayor de Blasio shut down New York City schools again because the infection rate reached 3%. This is very sad, and it looks like we're moving backwards. Many other states are ramping up their restrictions and shutdowns, which only means that we definitely need more stimulus, and we need it now. Otherwise, the country will be in an even worse economic situation. So as always, I'll share more here with you as I know more. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. Please hit the like button on the video, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe if you haven't already, and click the notifications bell to be notified that whenever I publish new videos and new content for you. Also, make sure to check the link in the description for the Yara savings account. It's a new savings account that is FDIC insured, but gives you interest with a lottery system. If you use the link below, you'll get 100 tickets when you deposit as little as $25 for a chance to win up to $10 million. Then you'll get a weekly ticket for every $25 that you deposit. I really think this is the future of banking, as it encourages savings to earn more chances at winning a large prize. Also, don't forget to get your free stocks from Webull, potentially worth up to $1,600 when you deposit only $100, which is just like cash. You can take it out anytime you feel like it. All the links are in the description below. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.